Ready to book, hook, and sparkle with me? The healing is homemade and the vibes are high. This is for commentary and educational purposes and not to replace any of the books that we review. Everything I share is for my own healing and growth and intended to spark maybe the same for you. And at the very least, open some discussions around specific themes and ideas. It's definitely not intended to harm or target any specific groups of people. I fully support all the authors of each of the books that we'll be discussing. So if anything I say resonates, I strongly encourage you to go buy the book. Show yourself some love while supporting the author. In this book we're discussing, there's so much goodness that I probably won't even be allowed to say on TikTok. So go buy the book. I got myself a copy from Knitting Cult Lady on TikTok. I got it paired with a signed copy of her book, Uncultured. It's the audio I'm listening to while hooking the rug. You see me hooking right up there. A pair perfectly for me, and 'tis the season for both, eh? Here's my why. I'm here to be seen and heard in my authentic truth, serve in my purpose as a divine messenger, and to passionately share human resources while making myself findable for those who align with my message. For context, I was born to white Mormon parents in Utah who split and divorced when I was 3 years old, so I was raised up between Idaho and Utah. And I say this for clarity, not for shame. My father was a racist, dangerous man, and I survived harms by him that no child should ever experience. And that part of my history is why I can say I'm so passionate about truth, boundaries, and putting in the work to heal, especially when it comes to healing the mistress syndrome within me. I also just spent 5 years in the coaching industry with a company thriving on the leading edge of healing and transformation. And the top 2 things I heard consistently, regardless of the lives changed or the miracles manifested, were, "Is this a cult?" and "Y'all are too white." Even amongst diversity on our team, possibly my whiteness, blinded them. And something I pride myself on is taking feedback as an opportunity for deeper self-awareness, as well as an ability to perceive everything is always perfectly working out for me. Yes, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the miraculous, of course. Because after all, you cannot love and respect yourself, let alone manifest the life of your dreams, if you aren't aware of how your being is being by the way you're thinking and feeling. I'm beyond blessed and so grateful to live the life I've created for myself and get to create and share with you in this way. So with all that said, let's get into it. Introducing you through the introduction of White Women Get Ready by Amanda K. Gross, starting on page 8. Ultimately, looking at him, that's her father, has meant looking at myself, which is why this book doesn't focus on the rise of the Christian right or point fingers at the evils of toxic white masculinity. Instead, it tells an interconnected story. The story of how a good little white girl grew up to be a status quo white lady and what that has to do with upholding racism. It wades into the complex and sometimes problematic waters of how whiteness does violence to white people. It insists upon a level of vulnerability that already has me squirming in my seat and perhaps you in yours. And it is written from a place of determination and passion to divest from whiteness, restore my humanity, and contribute to our collective liberation, which gets me up in the morning and motivates me to keep on being. Doing this work has helped me get clear about the ways I am harmed and about the ways I also harm. It has supported me in feeling and grieving collectivized trauma and has supported me in reclaiming my agency to make different choices because the choices made from positionality of a white womanhood have drastic impact. I offer White Women Get Ready as one way of grappling with such choices and impact. As you follow my trajectory of learning and unlearning the ways of white womanhood, I invite you to pay attention to what resonates for you, to tune into your body as a way of knowing, to notice when you may be nodding your head or feeling a sharp pang in your gut. I invite you to move slowly and to take breaks when you need to. At the same time, I encourage you to come back after breaks and not wait too long. I invite you to call upon courage when you notice fear, to gift yourself with curiosity when you feel frustration, and to lend compassion to spaces of grief. I invite you to bring as much of yourself as you are able, because real deal, this book will not be a checklist of white lady do's and don'ts. As much as I have looked for an anti-racist rule book to replace the Christian dogmas of my youth, this work is not neat and simplistic. Rather, the work of healing and transformation is messy and collaborative. I'm asking you to show up, to contribute, and to co-create with me because there are at least as many takes on what it means to heal from post-traumatic mistress syndrome as there are humans who have had to contend with white girlhood and or white womanhood. There are at least as many ways to divest from whiteness as there are humans on whom it's been imposed. There are at least as many stories of learning and unlearning as there are humans who are interested in change. I offer White Women Get Ready as one way of engaging with our interconnected stories. I unpack my stories here so that we might clarify our interconnectedness. In that way, this book is both incredibly personal and expansively collective. Of course, you don't have to take my words for it. In fact, you shouldn't. There are countless books and articles and bodies of work by Indigenous folks, people of the African diaspora, and other people of the global majority that describe the multi-generational devastation, lasting emotional and psychological effects, and enduring legacies of these collective historical, cultural, and structurally induced traumas, alongside brilliant resources chronicling resilience, asserting resistance, sharing culture, and promoting healing. I highly recommend reading often and frequently works that outline the many varied experiences of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color written by Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. And I recommend reading with vulnerability and listening to learn. And while White Women Get Ready will certainly weave in histories of and resources by many Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, the focus of this book is to touch down where those histories and legacies intersect with white womanhood. I use my stories as examples with the goal of unpacking, healing, and ultimately dismantling its foundation. Reading White Women Get Ready is not a substitute for learning about the impact of racism directly from the people whom it impacts the most. It's a complement.